podcast, guys, and we have a special guest doing an interview with us today. This is 5-1 record LFA prospect coming up in the MMA ranks, judo background. She has some wild submissions. If you guys have not watched her fights yet, this is Mackenzie Stiller, guys. One of my favorite prospects to watch. How are you doing today, Mackenzie?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Just very excited to do this interview with you. Like I said before we got on here, just wanted to get this interview going because you're one of my favorite prospects to watch. So, in this interview, I'm going to be talking probably a little bit more about like your background, things people do not know about you yet that they haven't seen in the cage, and also your actual I want to say your actual like fights and how your submissions have went down because like I've said you've had some pretty wild submissions. So getting right into this first one, let's start with your most recent win, LFA 217, that first round bulldog choke. Walk us through that submission because that's not something that's kind of a rare submission, not something you see all the time. So walk us through that when you got that bulldog choke at LFA 217.
Um, so the bulldog choke is like something that I've thought about often, and my coach actually covered it during class a couple weeks before the fight. So it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like still like it was still like fresh in my mind. And like when I was in the fight and had her pressed against the cage, my body is just like it felt natural to just to just sit into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah, I was that's actually pretty good, cool. Like you just literally went over it in class and then you saw the time for it to come and you went for it. So yeah, like I said, it's a very rare submission. And now let's talk about another submission you got in a previous fight where against I believe the fight was against Sydney Trillo, where you actually got a scarf hold arm lock. That's another rare submission you don't really see that much. So is that just like were these submissions you have getting? Is this like more of a reflection on your judo background, or are you going for these unique finishes like on purpose?
Well, judo, we don't have those chokes in
Hmm.
that art, but I just think they're cool submissions and they're pretty easy to get when you're in that position. They're pretty basic to do, and people really aren't expecting those two, I don't think.
Hmm.
So I think they're really good submissions to catch quick.
Yeah, because you're right about that. Because no one's really expecting to get hit with the scarf hold or even a bulldog choke. Like, it's just something no one's really probably. I want to say they're probably not practicing it, but something that is just rare that you're not expecting to have to defend during a match. So yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
So you've been through the highs, and you also had a tough loss against, I believe it was Sumiko Inaba in Bellator. What did that fight teach you? As you have one loss in your record, and that was the one loss you had. What did that teach you about yourself and about your career going forward?
Um, it's I mean, it just made me appreciate what I was doing good more because I was hard on myself a lot before, but then
Hmm.
after like that fight, I realized that I can do good and I'm usually getting better from each fight and loss, and that one really made me want to get a lot better. So I think I just took something good from it instead of negative.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to look at it and going positive. And now going into your training, I want to say it's like you train with, I believe it's One Touch Fight Team out of Illinois. What's the vibe in that room like, and who pushes you the most in that room?
The vibe is always good. I mean, it's always fun during class. Everyone is really good friends and teammates. Everyone's cool to new guys coming in, etc., etc. Um, our coach Brett really pushes us hard. He's a really good coach, and my boyfriend Juan, he's also
Hmm.
the assistant coach, and he
Okay.
pushes everyone hard. And just overall, all of us teammates push everyone hard. So it's just like a family, you know?
Hmm.
So we just always push each other no matter who it is.
And that's a new fun fact that I learned. So your boyfriend actually is the assistant coach. With your boyfriend being the assistant coach, does it seem like he pushes you a little harder because he knows your potential and he tries to get you to where he knows you can be at?
He treats everyone equally. Like
Okay.
he wants everyone to get better, so he pushes everyone. So
Okay. That's
I think
understandable.
yeah. Hmm.
So you're a judo black belt, like with jujitsu experience and a solid and it's pretty solid wrestling. Like when you get a hold of that double leg, it seems like you take girls down pretty easily. Like your wrestling, all your grappling is very well rounded. If you had to pick one discipline that defines like your fight style most, because you're getting a lot of submissions recently and rare submissions, like I said, which would it be and why?
Probably if catch wrestling counts, I
Hmm.
suppose. Like I don't know because I do like judo and jujitsu, so it's like a combination of that
Hmm.
basically. So s- catch wrestling, I suppose,
Okay.
would probably fit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that translates to a lot of your fights I've watched. I've watched you probably for a while now, so yeah, you're correct on that. I believe that actually translates to a lot of your fights. And I want to get into your nickname. Your name, Mack-Judo. How did that come around? Like, who came up with that? Is that something you came up on your own, or did they just start calling you that around the gym a couple times?
Oh, well, I've had my username on Instagram that for like I don't know how long, but then one day my coach Brett is like, your nickname should be this, and he's the one who brought it up, and it's like, it's kind of catchy, so we just went with it.
Yeah, it is for sure catchy nickname. Mac, with your name being Mackenzie, and then Mac Judo is really catchy. And so, how did judo become part of your like identity, and like what hooked you onto the martial art in the first place to actually get you started with judo?
Well, I started judo when I was 8 years old, and my mom put me into it because I was kind of like a hyperactive kid. You know, I just had a
Hmm.
lot of energy, and she thought it would help doing that. And I ended up just really liking it, and it just came natural to me. You know, it wasn't hard to
Hmm.
catch on to, and it came natural. And then I don't know. Ever since then, it's just I think just training it for so long is a why that's the staple in my MMA career because it's
Hmm.
just natural for me. You know.
Yeah, and then you say you've been doing it since you're 8 years old, and I believe did you grow up in Illinois as well?
No, I grew up in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin.
Okay, so I would say growing up, was there a moment or a mentor that actually helped you realize, like, hey, I can actually make MMA my career? Like, was there like a moment or a certain mentor that pushed you and was like, hey, you should get into MMA?
Actually, my boyfriend, when I first met him, he's the one who suggested it because he knew Brett before I did, and
Hmm.
he was doing like sessions in a Brett's basement with a few other teammates. And when I first met Juan, he introduced me and Brett at a
Hmm.
jujitsu class, and ever since then, I just started attending classes and went with it.
Okay, and
Hmm.
going back to your training, like you said, we were talking about a lot about your training. Every fighter has like like I would say a lot of fighters. I don't say every fighter, but a lot of fighters have like a war story from training. Like, what's that one day in the gym that it's always in your mind that you were tested the most and like shaped you to who you are now?
Um, I think for shaping me for who I am, this goes for everyone, is like consistently doing multiple, lots of days of training. That's what shapes people.
Hmm.
You know, lots of training over time. You know, it's
Yeah.
a it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, so I think multiple training days, like consistently for years, discipline is what forms people. But I think the ones that really open up my eyes is when I cross train with some girls
Hmm.
and I get different looks from everywhere. So that way I have to like figure out what to do and everything. And I think just figuring out that is going to help me in my career.
Yeah. So now you fought at both flyweight and strawweight before. So like how do you decide, I believe I'm correct on that. How do you decide which division you wanted to compete in? Like cuz I know you fought at both, and how do you manage your body for those different weight cuts?
Well, 115 pounds is our weight class because I am a bit too small for flyweight. You know, I
Mhm.
walk around at like 135, and it's just all the ladies at a flyweight just are kind of like double me.
Hmm.
usually. So they're just more powerful and stuff, and which is fine, but we'd rather be safe and play our weight class, you know?
Hmm.
So that those are better fights anyways coming from us. And the weight cuts are very different. I didn't really weight cut for the flyweight, you know, I was still having steak like 2 weeks out, you know. So it was cool, but cutting for straw weight, that can be rough sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's a rough one. But I mean, I've most of my weight cuts usually good to straw weight. So
Yeah, that's good. And now I'm before because I want a lot of people learn about you inside the fight. A lot of people watch you for LFA and watched you grow as a fighter. Like you've had fights in Bellator, then LFA. Outside of fighting, like what do the fans not see? Like if there's one thing that you could say fans to know try to know the Mackenzie Stiller outside the ring, what would you say that's what that one thing?
um I'm pretty chill person, I guess. I don't know. We usually train, and if we're not training, we usually like to go out to eat with like friends or like friends, family. Um, we like to sit inside sometimes because we're never home and just
Hmm.
watch like Netflix or something. So we're pretty like basic things,
Yeah, pretty well
kind of
down to
like that.
earth.
Yeah.
So like is there like a certain music or like daily ritual that you do like that gets you ready to go back to training cuz I'm pretty sure you're training all the time and trying to get better and better. Like is there like a certain ritual like music, food or even like like I said a ritual you do to get yourself prepared for training and prepared for fights?
Hmm. No, I don't think so. Sometimes I get the supplements, ketones for your brain. And
Mhm.
sometimes I take that like 45 minutes before training.
Okay.
That helps a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps a bit. So
Hmm.
fast forward a year from now, where do you see Mackenzie Stiller? Like, is there a dream promotion or is there a personal milestone you would want to hit by 2026?
Oh, definitely want to go to the UFC.
Hmm.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Do you
So,
see do you see yourself getting there by 2026, or do you think you have to have a few more fights?
I think I can make it in the year of 2026.
Yes, I will. I would love to see you in the UFC. Like you see, I have a UFC shirt on now. I watch all different types of fighting from LFA, Cage Warriors, PFL. I'm watching everything. So to see you in the UFC, I think that'll be great. And with those submissions, I think a lot of the girls will have to watch out for you, especially if when you make it to that place. I'm gonna say when you make it because I do believe you will make it to the UFC one day. So I have one last question. What is the one thing that when you get into the ring, some fighters say they're scared a bit, some fighters say they're fully confident. What's the one thing you think defines you? Because I've heard fighters say that, oh, I'm the confidence helps you in the ring, and I've also heard fighters say being scared in the ring sometimes helps you because you're very cautious. So, what would you say that's that one thing that helps you when you get in the ring?
Um, I'm calm in the ring. I'm like calm
Hmm.
in the ring. Like I get like nerves, but they're not like overwhelming or anything. They're like a healthy amount, and I'm also confident at the same time. And
Hmm.
then once the ref says go, I just stay calm. Like it just feels calm. Yeah.
So is like the nerves kind of like pre when you're in the locker room getting ready to go in? That's like the nerves, but as soon as the ref
Uh-huh.
says go, it's like full calmness.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that was all the questions I had for you. Hopefully, people now know who Mackenzie Stiller is. Guys, if you guys have not checked out Mackenzie Stiller yet, go check her out. She just had a bulldog choke win at LFA 217. Very good judo fighter with the judo as her background. She's an all around fighter though. Like she wrestles. Her striking is getting better and better as of what I've seen growing into her fighting career. And like she said, she wants to be in the UFC one day, and I do believe she's going to get there. So this is a prospect I will say, guys, keep your eyes on. And Mackenzie, I really appreciate you doing this interview with me.
Thank you for having me on tonight.
Yep, maybe when you get to the UFC, we'll have to do this again, or even later down the road when you're about to get called up again. I really appreciate it.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely. I hope you have a good night.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.